Oh, it's already all recording.
Oh, my shit too?
Yeah.
Oh, damn, nigga, you on top of it.
Pause.
You sat down right on it.
Oh, my Lord. And on that note, let's get right to it. Welcome back. Another episode of Verbal Gunplay podcast. It's your boy, Danny De Niro, a.k.a. D-Money.
What up? It's L Double, aka the Golden Lion. What's good, y'all? Happy Thanksgiving. All of that good stuff. Happy Black Friday if you got out there and got any sales, which are, not really sales, what we was talking about earlier.
Yeah. The only place I think that was really doing like some sales, and it wasn't even no real big sales, but it was somewhat of a sale, was like Amazon.
Yeah.
Because I shop on Amazon a lot, and I was looking at, because the way I was able to see the sales, a lot of things that I had in my basket already, I noticed they knocked down like maybe 15, 20%. It was like, it was saying Cyber Monday or something. And I was like, well, I'm going to go and pull the trigger right now then, since I was going to get this anyway, but now that it's already a little cheaper, because that's what I usually do. I'll usually like when I'm doing like Christmas shopping and stuff like that, I'll start throwing stuff in my cart in advance, just kind of as like a, like, okay, I know I'm going to get this. I go look at it, see if there's any price change. Because I like to also price match and stuff. When you get older, you don't just buy stuff on the first, it's like,
already know.
Yeah. It's like back when you was younger, it's like, didn't even care what the price was. Oh, a Nintendo 64 cartridge, $64.99. I'll take it, But then you go look at the store right next door, you see it for $59.99. It's like, damn, I could have had a whole snack at Great Cons. You know what I'm saying?
Shit, you wish Great Cons was $5 now, nigga. That shit like $15 for the fucking regular.
Yeah. $5 just for the side of rice.
It's funny. I was talking about this with my wife about what Black Friday used to be like. A lot of people on social media talking about Black Friday, how it's a scam now. And I think, especially the younger cats, they probably don't remember. But Black Friday, what it was it wasn't that everything was 50% off. It was just that certain shit had them doorbusters where they had like a TV for like $100, $50. Only the first 50 people can get it. Yeah. They had like some pots and pans that was on sale, a food processor, like little shit from each section of the store would have like this super deep discount. Everything else would be your normal 10, 20% off. That motherfuckers used to come in there to get that shit for the really good doorbuster deals. It wasn't that everything was cheap, but like they had some really good shit.
You said it right there, the doorbusters. Yeah. The last time that I really like enjoyed a Black Friday because of like doorbuster deals and all that was like no cap, like 13 years ago.
Yeah, like I was gonna say like 2010.
Yeah, it was a minute ago. Because I remember I was in San Diego because it was when I got the 619 number I got. And they had like a deal on like the new LG G3s or something like that at the time. And it was like you basically get the phone outright for a penny.
Yeah, I remember them type deals.
Straight penny. And this was before, like, now they have this whole leasing program where it's like, oh, you can pay for this phone for only like $10, $15 a month for the next 3 years. Yeah. And it's like, back in the day, it was like, you get the phone for free, but then you would be on a contract for 2 years. And that's cool, because it's like, all right, I'm going to have this anyway. But now they do it, it's like, oh, you get this phone at this price, but you're paying this, over X amount of time. And then if you don't pay it off in the last 3 months or whatever, even though you've spent all that money towards it, they still own the phone. Like, it's such a scam now.
I don't know if it was better or worse back in the day as far as the cell phone contracts go, because it's the same shit. But
I like the contract because it was 2 years. It was 2 years. Now, when I see all this 36 months, I'm like, I don't even know if I'm going to be alive in 36 months.
2 years, and you either got it for free, and some of the more expensive phones were maybe $50 or $100 up front.
Yeah. It'd be like the $200 down in a 2-year contract, something like that back in the day.
But well, as far as Black Friday and shit goes, though, like I would say you're right about 2010, 2011. I mean, 2010, 2011. There was the last time you used to see them kind of doorbusters where you would get, a Hisense TV, 32-inch HD TV for like $49.99 or something.
I would say Amazon, and then the amount of store damage killed that because people didn't know how to act.
Oh, yeah, hell no.
They didn't know how to act. Because I remember when they finally tried to like civilize it, what they did was you stood in line for several hours and then they give you a ticket. Because before it was like you stood in line and then when they hit that fucking,
it was
like when the NASDAQ sound goes off. saying? Like everybody just fucking running, trampling everybody.
Yep.
My shit.
People's fighting over that shit. Niggas getting robbed in the parking lot over that shit.
Yeah, and then it made it a little more civilized because it's like you had the ticket and it's like boom. But yeah, going back to what you said about the doorbusters, there really hasn't been any doorbusters. And then with the sales, most times things that you were looking at the price, like it might be a good price, but earlier in the year you might have already had that same price available.
Yep.
So it's like, what Black Friday deal was it really? Because during that time, like you said, the 2010s, the 2011s, that was like the last good hoorah of it. Mm-hmm. Those deals, you would literally wait the entire year for. That's how good they were.
Yeah, you would cut off your Thanksgiving dinner to go get it.
Exactly. And now it's like there's no deals that are that great to where, especially standing in the line, because you know now it's like time is money.
And there's always something you needed too. Like they would have a good laptop that was decent, right? Wasn't the best, wasn't the worst. It was decent, and it would be for like $200.
Yep.
And you were like, oh, I need to get that shit.
Yeah. Like, or like, say you got your kids and whatnot, and let's say somebody's getting ready to go to college soon. And it's like, oh, I can get them this laptop that can take care of their business for $200. Like those kind of deals that you wanted to jump out there for. But yeah, man, they ain't got that shit no more.
They'll actually jack up the price. Like my wife, there's this like black owned business, like they like do vitamins and shit for black women, and she normally bought them for like, I can't remember the price, like say $50. You turn the motherfuckers to $75 on Black Friday sale right now. She was like, how the fuck are these more now than they are when I buy them throughout the year? But that's all these motherfuckers doing that shit. That's why I say it's a scam. These motherfuckers out here being greedy. Shit ain't even on. They jack up the price to lower it back down to normal price, or they make up some price and be like, "Oh, this was $700," will be slashing it down to $400.
Yeah.
That shit was $400 3 months ago, but
you feel me?
Be buying. It's dirty now, man. It's not. It's just you're just not getting as good as deals as you used to. And Black Friday is like it's like Black November now. Like the moment we hit November, right after Halloween, boom, Black Friday deals all month long.
Yeah. Because they're I don't want to drag it on too much, but they're basically. They're what's the word I'm looking for? They're
price gouging.
No, they're it's a term. They're basically whoring out the deals because it's like, for example, I was telling you how I put stuff in the Amazon cart and all of a sudden the price changed and it's like Cyber Monday. I'm like, it's Friday.
Yeah.
Because remember Cyber Monday used to be a time frame. Yep. You had to check the website 7 a.m. to like noon, and it was a hard cutoff. Like if that shit was in your basket, 12:01, price was gone or the stock was gone. Yep. Like you had to. Now
you had to be on it because shit would sell out.
Now Cyber Monday on Friday, you're not even making no sense to me right now.
It's not even Monday.
And then like a week before Thanksgiving. Black Friday deals, motherfucker. It's Thursday. It's the Thursday before Thanksgiving, and you're giving me a Black Friday deal.
Yeah,
like,
we don't even know when Black Friday is. And
it's like you whoring out the whole system. Like you taking like the essence out of it.
Which is why it's not as successful. You kind of fucking with the retailers, like the people like us who be trying to buy shit. Now we like no one's even fucking with it. It's like we just buy when
you cutting up that good product. You stepping on it. That's ultimately what they're doing. They stepping on the product. They stepping on the Coke.
Ooh, speaking of stepping on shit, have you watched the videos for and listened to Kendrick's new album?
Videos?
Yeah, it's like 2 videos, like Squabble Up.
I seen that one.
And then there's like the 1 minute snippet that he put out.
I didn't watch that. Because as soon as that snippet came out, the album dropped. I was like, fuck the snippet.
Yeah.
What was in the snippet?
It was for a song that's not even on the album.
You're right. That's what I heard. It was like a throwaway.
Well, some people are saying it might be a second album coming. It'll be on there. Who knows?
It's 1,000% gonna be another album coming. Nobody performing at the Super Bowl is dropping a project this early before the Super Bowl. There's gonna be something near the Super Bowl.
What do you think of the album?
In terms of just the album, or in terms of his catalog?
However you want to say.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll say this: it's a very solid album. It's probably like top 5 album this year for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Where does it fall then in the range of his catalog of albums? I don't think it's number 1.
No. The only thing that got close to number 1, in my opinion, was Damn. For me, it's a 2-way tie between Good Kid, Mad City and Damn. For me, and then right after that, I like Mr. Morale. But I will say this one is starting to grow on me a little bit, where it might jump over Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, because I don't skip anything on this one. You know, like the first listen, there was like maybe 3 songs that I was kind of like, eh. But now that I'm starting to like keep listening to it, now all the tracks have grown on me now. Yeah. So now I literally track 1. Then when it's over, I find a podcast to listen to. Like, I don't skip anything.
Man, you know what album? I like this album, right?
Okay.
But where I put it in the pantheon is going to be a little bit different. Like, to me, I guess you could say his worst, the album I enjoyed the least and listened to more the less, is going to be Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. It's the one I liked it a lot, but there's some really heavy shit on that. So there's only a few songs I might come back to listen to, but I'm not bumping that like normally, right?
Nah, so to me, Mr. Morale for me was like a Nas album, something you just listen to in the crib.
That's gonna be like his last. Not to say that they're bad, but I think his number 2 album for me, and this is the one that blows people up. My number 2 album is actually T-Pab, To Pimp a Butterfly. Dude, the first time I heard it, I was like everybody else. This shit don't bump enough for me, right? Mm-hmm. But the older version of me has gone back and listened to his shit, especially after the beef made you go back and listen to more of his catalog. I was like, man, that shit was really fucking good. That's why that, and then I think close third is his Untitled album. So obviously, Good Kid, Mad City is number 1. I still like that one the best.
Wait, hold up.
So for me, it's Good Kid, Mad City.
Yeah.
T-Pab, Untitled, Damn. This current one, GNX, and then Mr. Morale's last.
Wow. I'm shocked. But I mean, you listen to like a lot of like the lyrical stuff.
Well, at this point in my life, I kind of need to. I can't listen to mindless, I'm gonna shoot you, I got more money, I'm gonna fuck your bitch.
Well, let's be clear. There's no mindless Kendrick albums.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying. Like this GNX album, for example, it brought me back. Like when I listen to it, it brings me back into that time when I was living in Cali and like the hyphy movement was big.
Yeah,
like the E40, Keep the Sneaks and all that. It's got that vibe to it.
Yeah, it does.
You know, he falls right in that pocket. Like he sounds like a Bay Area nigga.
A little bit, because especially on that Peekaboo song, that's when I was like, yo, this sounds like some Bay shit right here.
Man, I was just waiting on Keep the Sneak to jump out. Like the way that shit was sounding.
Yeah,
I'm
it could have pulled out any one of them cats on this shit.
Yeah, it took me right back to that. But yeah, I'm really shocked that you have Damn that low. I thought Damn was like, even today, it stands the test of time. Like it is like as perfect of a rap album can get.
It's good, but we talking about in his shit. I don't know, like when I just which ones have the most impact to me, lyrically and even musically. Are those in that order with those ones mixed, all those categories mixed together? We talking about musically, how well the album was put together. Damn was probably the most well put together. You can listen to that album, from front to back, from back to front, and it changes. But it still makes sense. Like it changes the way you ingest the album, but it still makes sense.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And it's actually, it's a great album. But like to me, those other ones like stand out more, especially like let's say Untitled. Those are the throwaways supposedly, right? But like musically, some of those songs are really, really, really deep, really good. And then To Pimp a Butterfly has some deep ass, some really good fucking shit on that shit. I know it's not the same kind of stuff where you can bump and roll down the street, listen to it in your car. Like Damn had all of that, right?
Yeah.
But and then of course
they got some car bangers.
Yeah, but then of course everybody loved Good Kid, Mad City because that was like, and we didn't even mention his first. What was his first album called again?
Well, technically he had 2 albums before Good Kid, Mad City.
Oh really? He had just one.
He had Section 80.
Section 80.
And then it was like a mixtape, but it was still an album. Overly Dedicated.
Oh, I've heard Section 80. I never heard Overly Dedicated.
Yeah, that was his first one.
But I don't really count those. We're talking about the ones everybody.
All I count is Good Kid because that was like his first. You know, it's like 50 Cent Get Rich or Die Trying. Yeah, he had a bunch of shit before that, including the shelved Power of a Dollar, but I don't count that shit. Mm-hmm. If this is your first studio album, then I count that as your first studio album.
Yeah.
You know, it's like J. Cole, Cold World.
Mm-hmm.
That's his first album.
I think he just put out
Sure,
those
he
mixes.
dropped 3, 4 mixtapes
I
that
think
were
he just
album
put those out
quality.
now,
Yeah,
yeah.
and he got the samples and all that stuff approved. But
Yeah.
I don't count none of them shits as his album. I count your first,
Yeah.
like your main, your baby.
My wife loves the album. She's a big Kendrick fan, period. But she just kind of likes the spirit of the album. She really she loves that. She bumped that shit more than I do.
Kendrick, he falls when it comes to black women, he falls into that Wale pocket for me.
What does that mean?
So, it's gonna sound kind of racial, but there's a certain type of woman that listens to like Wale, for example, right? And your wife would be that type of woman. It's like
I don't think so, bro. Wale is not so pro women positive as you think.
No, but I'm saying the people that listen to like the Kendricks and the Wales and all that, they're typically mostly intellectual pro-black women.
They listen
even though the message might not be that, but I'm saying that's what they listen to.
Well, him and Kendrick do the same thing. They say some positive things about black women that makes people ignore all the other shit they say about women in general.
Yeah.
Like, Kendrick will be like, don't speak negative on black women, but then be like, hey, that's my bitch.
Yeah, I mean, shit, one of his big singles is "Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe." So I mean, yeah.
I'm just and like Wale. I get what you're saying. Wale will say a lot of positive thing about black women and women in general, but then when he raps about his relationships and things about women, is extremely fucking toxic. So it's like, nigga, you out here doing the same shit. You just positively talking about black women while you doing it. Yeah. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So they fall in that pocket, and then J. Cole, he falls in that college kid, like he came up in that college.
Not anymore, bro. You're 30-something years old. Not anymore. And
no. I'm saying the people that were in college during that time, like they hung on to him, just like how we hang on to the Jay-Z's and the Nas. We was outside, we was really doing something when they were doing something. So that's why we hold on to them, a little tight.
With this Kendrick thing, man, it just this whole Kendrick fucking Drake. J. Cole shit that just happened over the summer, whatever. It has me looking at certain artists, specifically Drake and J. Cole, like completely differently. And we ain't even got to the shit that Drake did with the lawsuits. We'll talk about that in a minute. But let's go with J. Cole. I'll give you props because you wasn't fucking with this nigga for the same reason everybody else suddenly isn't fucking with him from the jump. As soon as that nigga did his apology shit, he was like, I don't want to hear this nigga talk his shit ever again. I was like, oh, he could say something. But then he did. Months later came out with that, what if, whatever the fuck that song was, and all of us was like, nigga, if you don't sit your ass down. But you was on that shit all the time.
I canceled him early.
So I'll give you that. So like it's like where do we go? Like with Cole, I still look at him like you got somewhere you can go. I'm not really sure. He got this new like little mini podcast audio series out called like The Inevitable, whatever. Was kind of talking about his come up and all the different albums and all that. And I'm not willing to pay because nigga, I'm cheap. I'm not trying to pay for that shit. I'll find a way to get it for free.
Get it on the black market.
Yeah. But I will listen to it and maybe it'll give me some perspective. But where's he gonna go now? Because when you opted out of this beef, I think he should have just sat down and shut up about it, but he hasn't. And then he's put out some questionable fucking music.
He's still on a press tour.
But he got somewhere to go, man. So now let's talk about the next subject.
Well, where's he going?
I mean, lyrically and musically, he's got somewhere where he can go and still stay hip-hop.
I am over J. Cole. I mean, clearly we know that from the
previous...
are,
but if he puts out some good music, you will...
I'm still over him because he said his next album is his last. At this point, I'm like, nigga, drop that shit and
Jay-Z retired how many times? Fucking Wayne retired.
I don't even count none of them niggas. Joe Budden retired, and you ain't heard shit since.
He keeps threatening the rap, though.
I think he will if the right bag came in front of him. Like if the right
situation, everything makes sense.
Right situation. But I want J. Cole to just drop this album and just be done. Because in my opinion, I'm only speaking for me, there is nothing at this point he can do to get me to feel about how I felt about him when First Person Shooter dropped. That J. Cole is dead to me. Because we got it. We got the files.
He was
go back to when that video and everything came out. We was in here, J. Cole, Drake, they was killing that shit.
Yeah, he was.
And he took a big chunk of his legacy and threw that shit in the toilet when he did what he did.
Well, here's why, to analyze how we feel about it. The reason why I think we feel this way is it's like twofold. One, you bowed out of a rap battle, right? That was number one.
Yeah.
Some of us, not everybody, but some of us, what it says was, I can at least respect that, right? We at least had that. Some of y'all was like, fuck them anyway, but some people say we can at least respect that. But then where we lost respect is you didn't stand on business. You didn't stand on that business. Like, you still was like talking about, you actually made a song about it, whereas I wouldn't have won the beef, I'd have lost a friend, all that shit. Was like, bro, we don't want to hear none of that from you. Yeah. And that's how it was for me. When I heard that shit, I was like, I don't
want blood on my hands.
You can't come back and boast after being humble. Not like that. And I think the reason why a lot of us is like, where is Cole going to go? Because in the last 2 years, Cole's been on some, I'm the biggest, the baddest, the best, I'm the rapping ass nigga who nobody can fuck with me type shit, right? You bowed out of this battle for understandable reasons. Yeah. I'll give you that. Yeah. But his behavior since has now been contrary to that, and we're all like, what the fuck are you talking about? And now, me included, I don't want to hear that shit from you, bro. I do not want to hear you tell me how you're the biggest and the best and the baddest no more. You can be introspective and tell me how you feel about things. Cool, I'll take that. But don't tell me you're the best and nobody out here can fuck with you. Your pen is the killer game. You had a chance to prove that. You didn't. Mm-hmm. And then you didn't sit down and shut up about it. You could have said, hey, yeah, I bowed out of that battle, but if anybody else want to try me, come get some. And left it at that. We could respect that. Yeah. But he just, that's what I'm saying. I don't know where he's going to go. He's still got an audience, and people still going to be checking for his music when he drops. But I'm unsure where he's going to go without fucking his whole shit up right now, his whole legacy, if you will. Now, to move on to the next thing, Drake. Okay. These lawsuits, my wife asked me, and a couple of friends asked me, like, what is this nigga thinking? You know, this is not hip hop, XYZ, right? And my only explanation, and for those, everybody fucking knows, I don't think I need to explain it. This nigga sued 2 times over. The record label was not specifically suing Kendrick, but he's suing the record label over Kendrick or whatever, right? Yep. And that's just not hip hop. And the reason I think he did it is because, much like his cease and desist letter on a bunch of other music, he's done shit legally in the background before that we kind of heard of, but no one really cared like that, right? So I don't think, some people's like, oh, he knew he'd be out of hip hop at this. I don't think so. I think this nigga sued on the back end like he has done before, and didn't expect it to turn into this. Honestly, that's what I think it is. And now he got to stand on it because he did it. And a lot of us are like, dude, this suing a nigga over this shit. Now, some people are explaining that this is more about payola, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But we can't respect it because you benefited from it.
It's the timing of it.
Heavily, bro. You're like the poster child for this kind of shit. We didn't all remember times where your face was all over every fucking thing, and we didn't ask for that. We know you was getting boosted. Yeah. Now to hear you come out and complain about this shit, like, the point you're making is valid, but we don't want to hear that from you. You see what I'm saying? Somebody else suing and making the same point, we'd be more apt to listen to it. But we can't hear it from the big bad wolf. Nigga, like, you're the one that's been huffing and puffing and blowing niggas' houses down, and now you complaining about your house getting blown down? Yeah. Like, bro, I don't want to hear that. Not from you.
Yeah, and let's face facts. In another multiverse, had Drake won the battle, we wouldn't see a lawsuit.
Oh, yeah, definitely not. Nah, for sure. Even if he knew he was getting boosted in streams and won that way, he's not going to complain or say nothing about it.
No, he's only creating a fire because of everything that's happening. He's suing the label. He's trying to put a cease and desist to the Not Like Us song because his worst nightmares coming true. We all know that song's going to be performed at the Super Bowl. It might not now, depending on the backlash the NFL wants to take from this. But has the NFL ever pulled somebody from doing a Super Bowl performance before the performance? I don't think so.
I don't think so because no one's done anything crazy. But not to say that they haven't told them not to perform a second song. Now, or a certain song, excuse me. Yeah. One thing a lot of people like gloss over with the Super Bowl is whoever plays at the Super Bowl does so for free and at their own expense. Did you know that? Yeah. Meaning they don't get paid and they got to pay for their own fucking performance.
No, for sure.
So Kendrick's going to pay money for this, but he's also going to make a hell of a lot of money after this. And like, if I were Drake, I don't know if I would sue. I don't know if I was. I'm not going to say no, but I would be dreading as these months and time goes by, as this song is every fucking word. This nigga done dropped another album.
He won the battle. That's why it's everywhere.
And now he two-stepping on you too.
Yeah.
And it's not
rightfully
gonna be over.
So.
It's not going to be till next summer when you can expect that maybe this shit'll
next summer.
Yeah.
Fuck no. Next summer, Kendrick gonna be on tour singing that shit. He's gonna be stadiums talking about certified pedophile. Drake ain't gonna be able to do shit until
didn't even think about that.
2026. Drake's whole next year is already canceled.
I feel like Drake should have just went to what he was doing and just making music. But I think one thing we're overlooking in Drake's career right now, because we saw it with the last couple albums, he was kind of on cruise control. The niggas kind of paid for already the $400 million deal.
Yeah.
I think he might actually be trying to get out of that deal. Was part of this lawsuit is for.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we would have gotten rapidy rap Drake anyway if he just put out some music that we like. He's not really gonna go back to that crooning R&B shit that we kind of like. He's still on that I'm gangster shit. You know, when he went on, he doing weird shit, bro. Like when he went on, when I saw he went on XQC, that was the other. It's like, bro, you keep proving not like us because you're supposed to be a rapper. What the fuck are you doing on this nigga stream?
Yeah.
Like he don't even know what the fuck.
Yeah.
Like was really happening and
Yeah.
shit. And before you're even asked about the beef, you start talking. Look at me, I'm untouched. You facts. Like, bro, ain't nobody even asked you yet. Chill the fuck out. That shows
Look
how,
at me, mind, body, and soul.
that's what I'm saying. Like that's how bothered you are. Niggas ain't even asked you about it yet. You can't even go nowhere and pretend like you just ain't got fucked up.
I already know he bothered. You know why? Because the nigga cut his hair. Nigga got tired of hearing that. What is it, the braids?
Especially when they had them little twisties and shit in. Yeah, he cut them shits right the fuck out. And then the shit with the basketball game with the Rosen, that shit was fucking weak. Like, nigga, you in a stadium full of motherfucking people. It's not like you pressing a nigga on the block. You got your fucking boys with you. This nigga at work, what you think he finna do? Like, that shit was fucking weak to me. And then when talking to the fucking commentators, again, you bringing up his name. Like, niggas ain't asked you about some shit and you jumping right into the bullshit. Lets us know that this shit is at the top of your fucking mind, bro. Just like you need to chill and be like, you couldn't even be humble and be like, oh, he got me. He got me. It was dope. He got me. You know what I'm saying?
It's
But
the
I'm
fact
still
that
out
he
here.
keeps backpedaling and acting like he won.
Or acting like he's not bothered, which shows us that you're bothered.
Yeah.
And you should be. Look, this shit is going off. You should be like, yeah, you got me, man. I'm a little fucked up over.
Yeah, but
I'm
what
still
I don't like is this, man. Like, okay, first of all, you're suing because the guy called you a pedophile, right? Nigga, you just called this man a woman beater. You put him in the same pocket as Chris Brown, and that shit derailed Chris Brown's career.
Yeah, fucked his career.
If it wasn't for Chris Brown being the most talented motherfucker on earth,
For real,
he
yeah.
would have been long gone.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for those allegations, well, I don't even say allegations. If it wasn't for that incident, this nigga would probably be bigger than Michael right now.
But he's super big still in spite of
This
that
is what I'm
shit.
saying. This is what I'm saying.
With powers working against him
Take
actively,
that
he's still
incident
big.
away and imagine him still clean cut Chris Brown from this Christmas movie and being pushed by the machine. Look what he's doing without the machine. This nigga is worth like $300 million without the machine. This nigga would be 3 B's up with the machine. Easy. Niggas
He got some of the machine. Let's not actually out here.
listen.
He's not independent. Let's not do that. But he don't got the same push he would have. We know that for sure.
Right.
If that incident happened. Yeah.
Right. They don't tap this. He hasn't been tapped to perform at no major music ceremony, anything in like over a decade.
Yeah,
and
since
we've
he came
seen that he is the man. Like
Oh, we've
this is
seen
who
his
you have.
performances, yeah.
This is who you have perform. Like it's a tragedy that you want to do all these Michael Jackson what do you call it? Not performance tributes, and he's not there.
He did one. Was it the BET Awards when he did Man in the Mirror, Start Crying or whatever?
A long ass time ago. And that was a BET one. What I'm talking about is the major ones. Because BET ain't been doing shit right in a minute. They ain't even black owned no more.
True shit.
Which is probably why the shit is so damn diluted now. Ain't nothing but fucking Tyler Perry movies on that shit now. But yeah, no, I don't want to get too much on Chris Brown. But basically I'm saying this. Like, how you gonna sue a man for calling you a pedophile and you called this nigga a woman beater? Y'all both knew how low y'all were gonna go if it went there. The nigga warned you. The nigga said, if you take it there, I'm taking it further. At any point in time, you could have moonwalked your ass out of that. You keep saying you Mike Jackson, right? Moonwalk your ass up out of there then. But no. Your ego got to you. Your OVO yes man was in your ear. Like, man, get this little ass nigga. And you resorted to treat the beef like you were battling fucking Lil Yachty, like somebody that's not like real serious. Like, this nigga Kendrick looks like he doesn't leave the house until he finishes a book every day. Like, he literally has to read a book before he can go outside, like on some kid punishment shit. Like, all this nigga does is read and fill himself up with knowledge. And he's a Gemini like me. We are fucking petty. Like, we will bring this shit to hell. Like,
oh, he said that in the fucking song.
Yeah,
take it to hell before he pieced it up.
This is what I'm saying. Like, and this nigga has not liked you for like 10, 15 years. I mean, I know a lot of people in the industry already knew that, but a lot of casuals, they didn't know that there was a beef because they look at it like, oh no, they were on that song.
Poetic Justice.
No. Even after that, the 2 Chainz and ASAP Rocky, fucking problem. Yeah, they look at it like, oh no, they're cool. They're on the fucking problem together. Meanwhile, that shit was like over a decade ago.
Yeah,
and
recorded remotely.
And the way that even got put together, that song wasn't even supposed to be as big as it was. They did that song when all of them were on tour and just happened to go on a tour bus and cut that song in like half a day. And it bubbled, and ASAP had it for his album. So then the label paid them to do the video. And at that time, who's turning down a bag from the studio or from the label? They ain't this shit since.
Yeah.
And if you go back and listen to a lot of Kendrick, it's been so many subs in there. He's been subbing this nigga for so long.
Probably subbing each other for so long. But Drake got so many beefs, you didn't even know who he subbed.
Drake, and then all these beefs Drake has created. This nigga's just running around like he's untouchable. Like, acting like Drake think he Big Meech. Like, the way Big Meech was back in the day, Drake thinks that's him. Just moving around, loved by all the people. I can fuck any bitch I want. I'm that nigga in rap. I'm untouchable. Like, nigga, no, you're not.
I think he had a lot of push and pull because of his hit making ability, money making ability. A lot of niggas fuck with him just off that, not that they liked him. Then I think this also thing taught him that I think he definitely is solidifying his anchorage in his own city. Like now I think they really is holding him down in his city.
Yeah.
Outside of that though, maybe not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, sure, he's still making moves. And I know a lot of people was on the fence that usually would have jumped out because, Drake was part of the machine and can make a lot of money for them. And now that he's kind of falling off and losing a little bit of his power, more people are kind of coming out and saying shit. But I don't know, man. Like, where would we go? Where does Drake go? Like I was just saying, well, Cole, where does Drake go with all this? Is he, like, people question, like, is he even still hip hop? Like, this suing somebody and what he's doing is so not what we do. And just, you keep making this nigga's point for him that you not like us. Like, even if we didn't believe it, you keep making moves to show us that it's true. Like,
run to Atlanta when you need to check balance.
But now you can't even do that shit. Now this nigga buying ranches in fucking Texas and shit out here.
Yeah, no, he running to Atlanta because as soon as Thug got out, Drake was like, "Oh, here's $1 million and welcome home, Thugger, and let's get to this music." He was.
But Thug ain't stupid. Thug's still gonna be like, let's hold up and see. Let me go cuddle up on my girl.
See, Thug is gonna make sure he pieces everything up in Atlanta first, and then he might look at maybe call Drake over for a hook or something. Because at the moment, why would you even want to touch Drake? Because Drake ain't even hot right now. Drake has did like 5 or 6 songs since the beef, and none of them have bubbled. When have you heard Drake do so much music in a short period of time and it's not all over the place?
Yeah, throw some little one-offs here and here that ain't all over the radio or whatever.
Ain't nothing
He did
nowhere.
whole songs. It was all on Camila Cabello's album. That shit ain't gonna make no moves. Like it really is. It's really like, to me, it's like, it's weird. They haven't thrown Drake away. They just put him on pause.
Yeah.
Because they know they still got, but let's pause you and see where you at. Now, will he sit his ass down and sit in the corner until they ask him to come out? I don't think so. He gonna show his ass because he got an ego and all that
Drake.
shit. And he might fuck it up here where people really are okay. Well, now you out of here. Like this lawsuit was kind of like kind of out. You ask any rapper in hip hop, they like, yo, he grown man, he can do what he want to do, but it's not a good look. Like it's just not a good look. It's a bad look.
It's all the timing. It's all the timing. If let's say after the Super Bowl, after Kendrick's tour and all that, then he decided to sue because of unfair practices or something
about
like that.
Multiple songs and other artists and shit too, and not just this shit.
But you're coming at Kendrick, or not Kendrick, you're coming at the label while Kendrick is still scorching hot. Like Not Like Us is still being played. So
that shit jumped back up to #1 over this.
So
shit.
Because of you doing that, the timing, it's not a good look for you. But what a lot of people just keep forgetting because of the way he raps and the way that he acts, they keep forgetting that this is a white boy. Jewish. He's a white boy at the end of the day. He is a Jewish white boy.
That's the way he was raised. And went over to his black friends and family on the weekends.
He has been covered in white people, because I don't want to keep saying Jew, because there's black Jews.
Yeah. Okay.
But he's white. He's a white Jewish kid who has basically been catered to for the most part of his whole career. Like, you were already a star before you started rapping. Like, it ain't even like you not even the typical rags to riches rap story. Mm-hmm. Like, you came in there already making money. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's why he was able to make a good mixtape and all that stuff to get on,
because you already had bread. You could tap Omarion, Lil Wayne, whatever, and get them some money to come be on your shit because you got the bread. That you already had a cheat code. And then the singing is what kind of took you over the top, because then you got all the women, and that's the real sales, is once you get the women, because they're at the time they're the ones that's buying all the CDs. They're the ones that's putting all your quotes all over their MySpace and Facebook, and they're the ones they're the ones spending all the money. So you put the whole strategy, the whole cheat code together perfectly. But what people need to realize is that this is a white Jewish guy that is acting like he's from Brooklyn, like raised on the streets. Like, this nigga is acting like his dad was a Black Panther and he's Franklin Saint or some shit. Like, he's not none of that.
Yeah, he did. He definitely was acting gangster. That's what a lot of us. I mean, what's they said? I like when the melodies on. I like when you act tough. Yeah. For me, like, I think, and I've said this on this podcast before. After the Pusha T shit is when I was like, I don't want to hear that shit from you no more. That's when I was like, I don't want to hear that tough talking shit. So, like, when he came out with Scorpion shortly after, there was some songs on there that were dope, but I couldn't like believe it. Like, from what is that song? That fucking from 8 to 10 or some shit. I forgot what it was. It had a dope ass beat. Oh well, but I miss making them pay. It was a dope song, but okay. I couldn't get behind it because, like, nigga, you talking shit about. It's not a matter of could I, should I. Like, I don't, bro. What? Yes, you should. This is rap, nigga. Fuck you mean? And that nigga came talked about your best friend. That nigga fucking threw your son out there. He did all kinds of shit. And you ain't do nothing but go on fucking LeBron's podcast. Like, did I let you down? Like, niggas was like, dude, what the fuck? I didn't want to hear the tough talk from him after that. And then he continued with that shit, and he really got in that bag after that. I think that shit like really pissed him off or something. I don't know, which made me not really want to fuck with Drake as much after that. Like, to me, I always say Scorpion was his last decent one, because like half of that was kind of an R&B album where he did some singing and some sing-song shit. But he kind of was off that after this. Besides his like that, I forgot the name of that album where he was like real pop sounding, like nobody really fucked with it. It had like some weird Southern, like Miami shit going on or whatever. I don't know what the fuck it was. It wasn't a rap album. Remember, there wasn't much rapping on it.
Okay, you talking about not Views, right?
Nah, it was like not. It was after before Certified Lover Boy.
Okay, I know which one you're talking about. I don't remember the name of it.
Even those, like you listen to certain shit, and the internet's always gonna pop and talk about Drake stuff, but it was never like this shit is. Like, this is it. Like, you need to listen to this type of shit. It wasn't never like that. Yeah, it was like kind of shit talking, and like, I don't know, man. Drake never was the same after that, and I don't like, again, we don't like the tough talk, and now I really don't want to fucking hear it, but I feel like he is really about to get back into that bag and shit again. I don't know. Like, for me, I'm kind of done with the dude. I don't even like want to hear it. Like, I really wish you would sit down so we can cleanse our palate a little, and you come back with something. Yeah. But like right now, after this law, because that was it for me. The lawsuit, I'm like, oh nigga, this shit whack as fuck. And you was talking all that shit in the beef, talking about cease and desist for pussy. Maybe you said that shit in the middle of, I think it was Family Matters. He said that shit.
Basically, the way our community interprets this is, it's like you're at school, right? and you're like, yeah, after school, I'm going to whoop your ass. And you go to the little short guy, and he whoops your ass. Now you run and telling the teachers that this guy was fighting you. That's what this lawsuit looks like in our eyes.
That he's bullying you.
Yeah.
But you was the one taunting this nigga all in third and fourth period.
Nah. We ain't, what do you say?
Now you got to drop or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
like this, but yeah, and
we
then when
ain't
the nigga
running.
came back. But it's the same thing like school. That's the analogy I gave, but in a different way for the Pusha T shit. It's like you the bully walking around. You was known because you beat up some dude back in the day. Was it Meek Mill? Let's say he beat up Meek Mill, right?
Yeah.
And you feeling yourself, so you come up on some other nigga, and then that nigga punch you right in your fucking mouth. You know what I'm saying? And now you're like, you lucky the teacher's here, or else I'll whoop your ass.
Yeah.
That's what he was saying about old boy telling him not to get in. I wouldn't, bro. I don't give a fuck who you are. You're not finna tell me I'm not finna rip this nigga a new asshole because of the money and all that shit. I'll probably say, okay, bro, I'm gonna listen to you, big bro, and then drop a track anyway, just so this nigga don't argue with me. But ain't no way I'm finna just eat that shit. And he just ate that shit. I couldn't respect it.
Yeah.
I couldn't respect it.
And then running around talking about, oh man, I got a diss track. Or no, what was it? It was a Jay Prince. He was like, yeah, man, I heard it, man. He got a track that'll turn the industry upside down. Like, I told him, like, yeah, you can't do that, man. Like, yeah, you can't release that. You know, we got to focus on the peace and the positivity.
But we see how this nigga is, because he wouldn't have probably, that diss track would have been shot at multiple people. And that's his problem, because he got beef with so many people.
Yeah.
That diss track probably wouldn't have been him shooting just at Push. He probably would have got at Kanye at Push and a couple other people.
Well, the rumor was there was a line in there where he was dissing Kanye, talking about how he fucked Kim Kardashian. That's a rumor. And I believe that rumor now, because
he probably did.
A lot of the people in the industry are mad at him because that's what he's doing. He's running around fucking everybody's baby mama or girlfriend or wife.
And he got money with bodyguards. So you like, I would just call the nigga out. He'd be like, yeah, he mad, I fucked her. Yes, nigga, I'm mad you did what you did, and you got to see me about it. That's what the fuck I would say.
That's the only thing that Drake at this point can do to reclaim himself. He would have to come out like Tupac, yeah, I fucked all y'all bitches, and just start name dropping niggas, take money, West Side, what's up, bad boy kid, what y'all gonna do? Like
do something, come see me. The thing is, people would.
But I'm talking about on the wax. If he do that on wax, like just on some straight up shit, and he don't backpedal, don't apologize afterwards like J. Cole or something, like you go all the way in there with it, okay. I'll be like, all right, because this is where you lost. You lost because, in my opinion, your diss wasn't tough. It wasn't as tough as you made it out to be, because everybody was like, oh, Drake gonna push the red button. I'm like, I'm still, like, when, was it Family Matters? When that dropped, I was still like, okay, that was good. That was probably the best one he's done. But I'm like, where's this one that's supposed to be mind-blowing? That was my thought. And then when I found out that was the one that was supposed to be mind-blowing, I was so disappointed.
I knew it was. I knew he thought that was it, because at the end of it, he's like, this shit got to be over. You're dead. I was like, nah, like, my problem, again, I think I said this at the time, my problem is you didn't fucking focus on Kendrick. You said some killer lines about some other people, definitely true, but who cares, nigga? That's not what this is supposed to be about. You can do that in another, you could have cut another track and said all this shit about them, but he didn't keep it on Kendrick. He talking about all this other shit. He gave like a good fucking, 18 bars of fucking, The Weeknd, like, bro, like, okay, well, you know, you got beef.
I mean, looking back at it in retrospect, I see why he did that, because his disses to Kendrick would have been like 90 seconds. He ain't have nothing to say. Kendrick's circle is too solid.
Dude, make some shit up, nigga. Make some shit up.
He did with the woman beaters thing.
Talk about the woman beater, that the nigga's short. I think he already did his fucking album sales. Get his fucking homeboys involved.
Yeah.
Like Blank time, my
I
homeboy
put you
told me
on your first tour and all that kind of shit.
Sow some discourse in the group, be like, Top told me he don't even fuck with you like that. Like, whatever the fuck, man. Just you say some shit.
Something. But yeah, he didn't come with nothing killer. Like, I don't know. Like, I think Kendrick like snatched his soul like during the battle, and I think he wasn't able to focus on doing anything good.
Bro,
because
Family Matters was good. I like the songs like that. This is, like you said, it's the best one. This shit is hard. He didn't focus on Kendrick enough, but this is not a knockout punch unless Kendrick comes back with something weak. That's what I thought. And then you know what happened after that. 30 minutes later, he dropped the spookiest song ever.
In my opinion, when he dropped Family Matters, at that point, Kendrick, in my opinion, was still slightly winning with just Euphoria. With just Euphoria.
Not even 616, just Euphoria.
With just Euphoria alone, I thought that shit was better than anything I had heard Drake do. So then when he dropped Family Matters and Kendrick had the slight edge, and then he came with Meet the Grams, and then followed that up with Not Like Us, nigga, that was the select button full stars and Punch Out knockout.
I think Not Like Us was a knockout. Even when Family Meet the Grams came out, I thought it was a great rebuttal. Completely wiped off Family Matters.
It took all the steam.
But to me, it made it like, okay, oh shit. Well, Kendrick is a little up, maybe even Drake can still do something to turn this around at that point. Okay. But then, Not Like Us came out, and that's when I was like, it doesn't matter what Drake drops after this.
If you were to treat it like it was Street Fighter, for example, Drake came in with the spinning kick combo with Meet the Grams, right? And all Kendrick did was put the arm up, and Meet the Grams was the parry. When he hit him with the parry, Drake was wide open.
Hit him with that
and
critical
as soon as that
Shoryuken.
Not Like Us was the level 3 super max coming close with Zangief, and I'm about to just just
I get what you said.
It was brutal. It was nothing he could do once Not Like Us dropped. It was a rap. Like, we have never in the history of rap battles. Well, no, this is the second one. This is the second time that it was just like a clear cut, oh my God, winner. And the first one, in my opinion, was when KRS-One did the Bridge Is Over. Yeah. That battle was completely over once that shit. Dun, 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 dun. Like, he had the whole city. The bridge is over. The bridge is over. Everywhere he went. Yeah. Because at least when Ether dropped, there were still some Jay-Z fans that was like, I mean, it was good, but Jay still, and then when Super Ugly dropped, they were still like, oh, Jay, Jay still got it.
Nah, I thought Super Ugly was weak. And I think it actually it showed me that Ether hurt that nigga, because then he started getting like super personal. Like, and out of his character. Like,
yeah.
So I actually, when Super Ugly came out, that's, I was like, to me, Super Ugly was like, okay, Nas won. Because that shit, I don't know, wasn't really.
Because Super Ugly was the Heart Part 6. Yeah, it was the thing was over, and then this was your reply back to that. Because if I'm gonna give, I'll give Jay-Z the benefit of the doubt. Like, see, when he did Takeover, I feel like it was the same thing when Drake did Family Matters. You're not taking Kendrick serious. I think Jay didn't take Nas serious when he made Takeover. Because had he known that Nas was going to come with Ether, I strongly think Jay would have came with something way harder.
Bro, who thought Nas was going to come out with Ether?
Nobody.
At the time, Nas was falling off.
Nobody thought Kendrick was going to do all this. Before it started, a lot of people were saying, oh man, if the big three get into a battle, a lot of people had J. Cole standing above Drake and Kendrick. Before all this popped off, lot of people had J. Cole number one, and it's like, I don't know between Drake and Kendrick. These are all previous, before the battle assumptions. And then, because Kendrick hadn't proved himself yet. We know he's a great rapper, but he hadn't engaged yet, right? And everybody's calling him the boogeyman. Well, now we know why, obviously. But Drake, at least, we seen how he embarrassed Meek Mill. He basically made a club banger all summer that was Grammy nominated. Didn't win, but it was Grammy nominated. But Cole has been on a tear. Like, I'm that nigga, da-da-da-da. And every feature, he's just running fucking circles on everybody in rap. So, yeah, looking back at it, nobody knew Kendrick was going to do what he did. Now, Kendrick has solidified it that nobody for the entirety of his career is ever going to diss him.
Probably not.
Nobody is ever going to diss him.
Yeah.
Because
Lil Wayne said Lil Wayne's supposed to be dropping an album, or not album, a diss track. I think he might record it, but
Wayne is not about to diss this nigga. If Lil Wayne drops anything, I promise you the PR is going to get in front of it and say it was AI. Nobody is going to say that was an official drop.
All these people are going to tell him not to do it. If I were in his camp, I would say, I get you, man, but don't do this.
At this point,
Not because you're gonna get beat up, but mainly because this nigga just got out of a beef. There's other shit happening. You kind of tacking on. And he wasn't even dissing you. Really, you kind of jumping out the window here. You should just let this slide.
You know, like all these, like for example, when Lil Wayne didn't get the Super Bowl thing, right? You remember how like Nicki Minaj went on a crash out? Mm-hmm. Notice how supposedly Kendrick is dissing Lil Wayne, which he's not, but supposedly he's dissing Lil Wayne. Notice how Nicki Minaj ain't said shit. She's the first one to always loudmouth and come to Wayne's defense.
Mm-hmm. Has she not said? I don't even look to see.
She hasn't said a fucking peep. And that right there is telling. Because she's like, no. Like the old man in Friday. You want some of this too, old man? Because I don't think Kendrick gives a fuck. I think if Nicki Minaj hopped in the ring, he would throw bars at her too.
What I think is if Wayne dropped a track, that Kendrick will ignore that shit and keep on with his rollout and what he's doing.
If Wayne drops a good track, he's gonna acknowledge it. But you got to look at when Wayne responded to Pusha T. That shit was trash.
Yeah, it wasn't really. He just opened up, well, fuck Pusha T and everybody that love him. Then it just turned into a regular rap song after that.
Shit was trash. But this is what I'm saying. You can't do this to Kendrick. Like, if anybody has fallen on the sword to let you know that, it's Drake. If you come at Kendrick, go hit them books. Go in the studio, lock yourself in there for 2 weeks, do 10 songs, and take the best 2 lines of each song and make it one song. That's what you need for Kendrick, because Kendrick, he's meticulous. Like, this dude is just like, it's scary. It's scary how nice he is.
I don't think, like you said, if the diss track was good, maybe he'd acknowledge it in some way in a song somewhere. But I still don't think he actually turns to this nigga and starts beefing with him. He's got a rollout. He's got something he's doing right now, and he shouldn't get derailed because what's the name decided to jump out the window. If it's a shitty track, we all think it's whack. Then he completely ignores.
Looking at the whole thing, I'm so disappointed with Wayne.
How so?
Well, because in my opinion, I think had they not went on this whole sympathy run, I think there would have been a good shot. He would have got a slot with Kendrick.
That's not what he wanted, though. If you look at the tape, he was like, I want to get on a Super Bowl, and I'm not even going to share it with
I understand
nobody.
that. I understand that.
So if he didn't even want to share it, if he got the Super Bowl, he wanted to perform himself the whole time, he definitely didn't want to come on as a guest in his own city.
But here's the thing. Wayne was never, ever going to be a solo performer at the Super Bowl.
No.
It doesn't matter if Cash Money, Young Money, it could be a collaboration. You can bring out Drake and Nicki, and there's still not going to be a thing.
Honestly, I wouldn't want to see that. If they announced that Lil Wayne was headlining solo at this, I was
like a Young Money Super Bowl.
No. It's Lil Wayne by himself soloing the whole Super Bowl. I wouldn't even want to see that.
What I'm saying is, if they did a Young Money one and they had Wayne, Nicki, and Drake, I still don't want to see it.
I'd see that.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm saying I don't want to see it. None of them have a Super Bowl performing type of look for me.
I don't know about that.
No, Drake has songs.
Nicki and Drake got shit they can do.
But what
Wayne
I'm saying
could do
is,
something to fill in and hold his own.
Okay, have you seen any of them perform before?
Yeah.
Okay, and you walked away from that saying this was a great performance. This would kill at the Super Bowl.
Maybe for Nicki because she got dancers and shit. But Drake, no.
Right.
But you'll get some dancers or whatever the fuck for this. You know what I'm saying? I think it would be a solid enough performance, but are they that gigantic level? I actually think Nicki by herself will put on a better performance if she went and X them 2 out.
And I think a Nicki Minaj Super Bowl performance would be better than a solo Lil Wayne or a Young Money one in totality.
Yep. I think
but
so
this
too.
is what I'm saying. Like a Drake, Nicki, Lil Wayne Super Bowl, I wouldn't be interested in because I feel like it wouldn't even be. Because like Nicki by herself, I think she puts on a great show. Mm-hmm. I think she gives it all the razzle dazzle. I think all 3 of them combined, it wouldn't hit like it should hit.
I think what you're saying is I think the two of them would bring her razzle dazzle down, and she probably would bring it down on purpose.
It would bring her performance down.
And she probably would tone it down a little bit because she don't want to outshine all of them, which is a crime because she would be the one to put on the best show.
Absolutely.
It'd be best if she did perform by herself, so she'd be free to do what the hell she want to do. Because she got some like pop hits and shit too that could kill.
It's not even about the hits for me. It's the performance. Because I can't stand when I see, especially rappers. I can't stand when I see just rappers perform back and forth. and then with a backtrack. See, I know when Kendrick does it, it's not gonna be a backtrack. We just watched this nigga perform for Juneteenth with no water, no breathing. The nigga hopped up there for 2 hours and didn't even breathe. He was fucking alien.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? This nigga was performing songs he just did like weeks ago. And had them memorized. Like, this nigga is crazy. No hype man, no nothing.
It was dope.
He's up there by himself.
We had a lot of some people on stage. We definitely had some.
Nobody rapping. That's what I mean, hype man. Like, you know, like how M got what's his name?
Royce?
Not Royce.
I know like it wasn't Royce.
The chubby nigga that goes out there with him and raps.
Yeah. I can't remember his name.
The nigga that does the beats. But anyway. Yeah. Even M, as talented as a rapper as he is, he goes out there and he has a hype man to back up. Shit, hell, most of Jay-Z's career, he had Bleak right there.
Or a whole bunch of niggas on stage, period.
To backtrack him. Kendrick's out there by himself, doing his whole songs. Dancing, bopping, moving, synchronized, all this crazy shit. That's what I want to see when I think of a Super Bowl performance. I'm not going to get that with Lil Wayne and Drake.
My disappointment in Wayne is how he handled it. You know, he came out and said, "Oh yeah, I'm disappointed." Like he really felt like he should get it, and that he didn't. He said first it made sense he was humble. Like I didn't put in enough work to be considered. It's almost the way he made it seem like at first, but I feel like on low key he didn't really feel that way. He felt like he did, and he was robbed, and niggas did him dirty. I just don't feel like that's the reality of it. Not only that, we've all seen actual Lil Wayne's performances.
That's what kills me. I don't like when I see these snippets, and I'm like. Ugh, like I don't want to see that at the Super Bowl.
We like, dude, what the fuck? Like, yeah, you're not a great performer. You put together a reputation of not showing up on time and forgetting your lyrics and freestyling, which is kind of cool, but that's not what people really came to see. Like, I think, like you said, he'd be good to come out and do a song right quick. Love You New Orleans and go back there while the headliner keeps doing what the fuck they got to do. But he didn't want to share the stage and he felt like he should get it by himself. He wouldn't do
that. Shit would have been
huge
for him.
I think he probably could have got Kendrick to bring his ass out if he was able to piece it up.
I don't even think he needed to get Kendrick. I think Kendrick would have reached out to him because Kendrick is that type of dude.
Maybe, yeah. We don't know that, but it seems like it would have been appropriate at the very least, right? But now with him saying all this, he's like, fuck it, nigga, I'm finna do my own shit.
Because this is what I think. Not only because Kendrick respected, I have to use it as past tense, respected him as an idol, but once again, I can tell you Kendrick would do it because I am Kendrick, Kendrick is me. He's a Gemini. That's what I would do. I would piss my op off by bringing the person that put him on. Now I'm putting him on.
Oof.
You see what I'm saying? That would be the nail in the coffin. Me bringing your master, because you're the protege, your master out.
Maybe Wayne wouldn't do it though because his relationship with Drake. Maybe he wouldn't have. He didn't turn that down.
Maybe we'll never know. I don't think Wayne would have turned it down if they were still everything was all good. What point would it be to turn it down? You don't hang out with Drake no more. Drake, I don't even think is underneath Young Money anymore.
No,
there's no ties there. You talking about a nigga that fucked your bitch while you was in jail? Like, where's the tie there? Who gives a fuck? Now I can see if he was still underneath your label and was making you money, but he ain't making you no more money. That well done dried up, which is why all these niggas is turning on Drake because the well done dried up. So yes, if I'm Lil Wayne and it's Super Bowl in my city. And Jay-Z runs this shit, so there's a big chance that I'm never going to get a solo shot because my prime is long gone, I'm taking that invitation. Because the next time think about the last time it was in New Orleans.
Especially if it's your dream.
Think of the last time it was in New Orleans. Last time it was in New Orleans, Beyonce was performing Formation.
How long ago was that? Do you know?
Like 10-something years ago. So You think in the next 10, 15 years it gets there? We want to see Lil Wayne? Lil Wayne is barely 40 and he looks like he's 60. I don't want to see Lil Wayne at 50 trying to perform. Them drugs gonna have him strung the fuck out.
He probably don't even know he sound drugged out. We can all hear it. You sound fucking drugged out.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I just wish he would have handled it better, is what I'm saying. Maybe with a little bit more grace, and maybe we would have still at least he'd be able to fulfill his, because it's his dream to perform at the Super Bowl. Maybe
I can't tell.
He said it though, but he should probably, like, he still performed at the Super Bowl. He still can. This ain't the last Super Bowl ever. You know what I'm saying?
My thing is this.
Oh, you mean in his city though?
Yeah, exactly.
But he should just perform wherever.
My thing is this: if performing at the Super Bowl in your city was your dream, why we just hearing about this being your dream? I ain't hear nothing about this being your dream when Beyonce came out, and this was before Jay-Z was in charge. You could have came. She brought out Destiny's Child. You could have came out there to Soldier.
He said, I don't know when it was. I think he said he took his moms and them to the Super Bowl, and they loved the way it looked. So he was like, I'm gonna perform at a Super Bowl one day. I don't remember when he pinned down when he said that, when that happened. It might have been after that.
Man, he don't even probably remember saying the shit. If you ain't bringing the footage up and show him, he don't even remember saying it.
He did say it.
First of all, the man looks crazy being so loyal to New Orleans, but being a Green Bay Packers fan. Let's start there. Like, what are we talking about?
He's not a Saints fan?
No, he's a Green Bay Packers fan.
Okay, that's weird.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
does he own a stake in Green Bay, maybe?
No. He's just a Green Bay Packers fan. And he's been one for the longest, back obviously when Aaron Rodgers was there. But so what? You're a Green Bay Packers fan, and you've been one even when your city was winning a championship. Like, make it make sense.
He could be both. He could at least been both. You know what I'm saying?
Man, listen, Lil Wayne is just, he's just disconnected from reality. You best friends with Skip Bayless. That says a lot to me. All these niggas you could be cool with, Shannon Sharp, Stephen A. Smith, Cam Newton, all these other analysts, and you best friends with Skip Bayless? That says it all.
Let's not forget what he said about Black Lives Matter and all that. But, you know, we don't know what's going to happen in the future. All of this is unfolding in front of us.
Lil Wayne will never touch that stage.
What, this year?
He will never touch that stage ever.
He'll never get a Super Bowl
This was his only chance.
I think he might get it. He's possible he can get another chance as a guest. Not as...
With who? What guest is bringing Lil Wayne on? Drake's stock is gone. Nicki Minaj is on her way out.
I can't think of who. But anything's possible is what I'm saying. And he could still get on.
It would have to be one of those two. And it's not happening. Drake is bucking the system right now. He's currently bucking the system. Nicki Minaj, her whole career has been bucking the system. And the system's been silently bucking her. You know Nicki Minaj has never won a Grammy?
Which is super crazy to hear, yeah.
Think of that. Just let that marinate. Nicki Minaj, arguably the greatest female rapper of all time. Platinum hits, pop records, everything. Never won a Grammy.
That's crazy.
That right there tells me all I need to know. There's a lot of stuff that we're not privy to going on behind the scenes, and the industry, the machine, corporations, they are not fucking with that side. They not like us. They're not fucking with Drake. They're not fucking with Wayne. They're not fucking with Nicki. Because if that was the case, this is the second time since Lil Wayne has still been a relevant household name. The Super Bowl's in New Orleans, and ain't nobody look at him. Once again, back to the Drake. Only reason Drake was in all these rooms is because he was making everybody money. He ain't making nobody money now. Watch how this shit about to look different in the next year or so. It's about to look real different. You think a lot of big corporations is going to be super excited to getting in bed with Drake after what he's doing right now? Fuck no.
Yeah, so in a label over something we all know everybody does was basically just
because all you're doing, because you're such a big character in the whole thing of it that by you opening up Pandora's box, you're fucking up money for all those white people.
I don't think this makes it to actual court though, because you know they just
it don't matter. It don't matter. The
cat's out the bag.
The cat's out the bag. So that is going to be the problem now, because now everything's going to be overanalyzed. Everything's going to be overanalyzed, and everything's going to have to make sense. You know, a lot of these labels, they own stocks and percentages of all these streaming companies. So it's a conflict of interest, because they basically can control whatever they want. My artist comes out, make sure my artist is front page on everything. Make sure this playlist has this song and da-da-da-da-da. Like, they're controlling everything. It's a conflict of interest. And he's the positive side of it. Yes, he's bucking the system, and he's going to make things a whole lot easier for other people. But unfortunately, because of the timing of how he's doing this, what little bit of street cred he had, he's completely lost the black community. The urban black community is like, fuck this nigga. Like, him suing ain't even affecting us. It's all about optics. The way it looks, I can't rock with that. And then, unfortunately, Kendrick done ja ruled this nigga to where now you hear his music with a different ear, and it's not even an ear that's like, oh yeah, I vibe with this. Because before, you can hear a Drake song that you maybe didn't really like, but you could still like stomach it, like this is all right. And then you maybe catch one that you like, and you're like, oh yeah, cool. Yeah, this album is cool. But now when you listen to Drake, it's almost like all you hear is Kendrick saying, "Told you this nigga's a colonizer." Like,
you start hearing shit you didn't hear before.
Yeah, like you
feeling a certain way about shit you didn't feel.
Yeah, and it is like certain stuff he's saying. It's like it's the J. Cole effect. Certain things you hear the nigga say. Yeah, he's a phenomenal rapper. But there's certain things he'll say, and when you hear it, you're like, come on.
Yeah.
You know, the purists, we hear certain things. It's the same thing with Drake. This nigga say something, we're gonna be like, come on, Aubrey. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I'm gonna get the boys to straighten you up. Like, nigga, you ain't finna do. Shut your ass up.
Stop. You know, my mob ties and all this. Like, come on, man. Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit.
We know now that you only wrapped and tied up because you was worth money to all these people. And now that shit is kind of be over.
That well's starting to dry up. And now that it's dried up, now that you don't have the label backing you, and then pretty soon, when you see your money starting to, because before you was making more money than you could spend, but now you're going to be spending more money than you're making. Now you're going to have to cut some of the losses, and once you stop paying the wolves, that's when shit gonna look a whole lot different. You ain't gonna be just rolling through Houston like you that nigga if you ain't got niggas on payroll.
Yeah, and you brag so much about how you got so much money, you to marry all these little brokies. When you have to start living regular, if you will, niggas will be talking shit. Yeah. You talked a lot of shit for years when you was up.
Exactly. And then, you know, once you get on that decline, it's gonna look real different when you hop into LA now. Like,
it's still unprecedented though. This nigga was up for a long time. Like, you gotta get ready for that.
Absolutely. He was I
don't think that anybody is up that long.
No.
But what comes up must come
down eventually. Yeah, he was the man for a good almost 15 years straight. Mm-hmm. That's a solid run. Listen.
Solid run is an understatement.
Listen, I applaud Drake. He had a solid run. 15 years straight. Solid run.
You think it's over? You think that run's over?
Absolutely. I'm not gonna listen. It's like making a song is like riding a bike. Once you know how to do it, you can do it. So I'm not gonna sit here and say he don't never make another hit again. He don't never make good music again. But what I'm saying is the run is over, because unfortunately, no matter how fire his next project is, Kendrick has made Drake basically uncool.
Yeah.
It's like if you riding around right now, look how long that stain is. Pause. If you riding around the Ja Rule right now, people will immediately tie it into the 50 Cent shit. And they're listening to it and they're just like, eh. And that was 20 years ago. It's going to be the same thing with this nigga Drake. Especially since Kendrick is still scorching hot and relevant. The man put out a 12-track album with no physical sales, literally only streaming numbers, and it was able to sell over 300,000 based off these streaming rules. Mm-hmm. That's somebody to be afraid of.
I think the biggest name he had on it too was SZA. Everybody else was like local LA rappers.
Bunch of local, like, honestly, you were talking about Untitled was a throwaway. In my opinion, this was a throwaway from Kendrick. These are some songs that he might have been like playing around with. And I think some of them he put together last minute. But I think it was just a throwaway. I think his main project ain't gonna be no 12 songs. You seen Mr.
Like
Morale?
20?
Mr. Morale was like what, 18 tracks, something like that. It'll be something like that. It'll be something that's between 15 to 20 tracks, and it's gonna be a conceptual banger of some sort. And that's gonna be what he's touring. That's what all the marketing and everything's gonna be about. Because this GNX, look at the album. It's gang of samples, whole bunch of features. He ain't going on tour with all these niggas. That's just a throwaway. His next joint is gonna be mostly him because
keep the buzz going type shit.
Yeah, that, and I think he also dropped it to address a few things and to just how we got on the topic. He's just stepping on the coke. Oh, Not Like Us dipped out of the top 10. You know, let me put this album out real quick. Let me just get shit bubbling again. I'm gonna stay on your neck until Super Bowl. Then after Super Bowl, I'm announcing my tour and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. I'm gonna make it hard for you to eat out in these streets. So you go sue these labels to make you some bread. You go finish biting the hand that feeds you and see how that works out for you.
We're gonna see. I would like to put it up and say that Drake is not this dumb and there's a plan that we're just not aware of that's gonna work out in his favor some way. I just can't see it. And like I said, I still think that this is some back end sue shit that he always does. Just this particular one resonated and blew up and now everybody know about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm sure it got leaked because once the tie-in with trying to get Not Like Us blocked, I mean, I see why he's doing it. He's trying to obviously stop the song from, because he can't stop him from going to the Super Bowl.
It is hurting him from making money.
It's because of the pet. It's all down to that key word in the song, that pedophile. Kendrick has made Drake look to be a pedophile. And I don't know. I'm not Drake's penis. I don't know where it's been. I don't know what he's gazing over, because for the most part, I know all the women that he's been fucking have been over 18. For the most part, that's
but
at
the
least
thing
the
is,
optics.
he's in his late 30s now, right? So
Yeah.
now we expect, bro. Okay, I mean, it's the same thing they keep getting on Leonardo DiCaprio. Is like what 50 or some shit, late 40s. This nigga chopping down 20-year-olds all day, but he's not a rapper. Drake's rapping.
Not only that. You know the whole thing behind Leo.
But they don't like that, is what I'm saying.
Who don't like that?
In general, women online and stuff are complaining that he dates younger chicks all the time.
For sure.
So they're kind of saying Drake, to me, I don't really think he's a pedophile, but I think he does like to date younger women. Younger as in around 18, 20, 22 or whatever. I don't know, but I don't think he dipping in, dodging with 16-year-olds or no shit like that. But I think they're linking the two from him like just messing around with younger chicks and him being like a straight up pedo, unless they know some shit we don't know and he really is a pedo.
You think because of, his exchange with what's her name, Millie Bobby, the girl from Stranger Things. You think he ever did anything with that? I mean, she's legal now, but when he was texting her, she wasn't legal.
I feel like I do think it was inappropriate. Being on a personal basis texting with a 15-year-old actress, you know what I'm saying? Like it really does give the vibes.
It's a thin line
that she was laying the groundwork. So when she turned 18, 19, 20, whatever, that she blossomed, y'all had a close enough relationship.
Because you don't have any serious personal ties to that person.
Y'all haven't worked together on nothing.
Nothing.
Like, it just, and you say, oh, she's a really cool person. Nigga, you're 30 something. What do you mean this teenager is a cool person? What are you talking about?
And then you're like one of the main executive producers behind the hit show called Euphoria that basically is centered around a bunch of high school kids doing drugs and fucking.
Well, at least the actors and actresses are actually grown.
That's the premise of the show.
Yeah. They wilding on that show.
Yeah.
Wilding.
But this is supposed, we get caught up in the drama of the show that we forget that these are high school kids. And it's like you attaching your name to that along with these allegations and along with your behavior, yeah, he's in his 30s now, but there was a time, he was in his 20s and he was still doing suspect stuff. You on stage kissing on girls that are underage, talking about, no, oh man, you're not over 18. Oh man, I wish you were. Like, you can't be saying that kind of shit. Like, and I get it. People will say, well, it was different back then. So my thing is this. Okay, it was different back then, but you're still the same person.
And you made a couple rap songs.
If you had the thoughts back then, you still have the thoughts today.
But he made a couple songs too that was fairly recent, where he's talking about, some high school's parking lot looking like a strip club. We're like, why is it a strip club in the high school parking lot?
Yeah. 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 Because I've said crazy things, not like that, but I've said things like girls in grade school today dress like grown women compared to when I was in school.
Yeah.
I ain't saying nothing about, oh my God, that little girl that ain't got no hair on her bush head, that shit probably look crazy. Like, I mean, that was a bit extreme, but but that's what you basically are saying when you say the high school parking lot is looking like the strip club. Like, that's what about that is looking like a strip club?
Like, why are you in the high school parking?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
is it next door to the strip club?
Do you got a kink that you like girls that dress like schoolgirls? Because that's the thing.
That's the thing.
Because when I was younger, I had a kink with teachers. Like, like women that look like teachers was a turn on to me. We all got our kinks. I listen, even to this day, when I see a woman and she dresses like a teacher,
dress proper with the glasses on.
Oh my God, that does it for me. When they be looking like, what's the girl in Scooby Doo, Daphne and all that?
Daphne? Oh no, that was I can't remember, the one with the orange sweater.
Yeah, the Jinkies girl.
Yeah,
Velma.
Yeah.
When a girl looks like a Velma, that does it for me. I don't know, something like, ooh, damn, look like a teacher. Like, I want to go to detention,
Oh, man, that's crazy.
Yeah, but, that was me. I was always like the person, I'm looking at the teachers. I wasn't even looking at the students. Even when I was a student, I'm looking at the teachers like,
Nah, I never did that.
Yeah.
Maybe I never had a teacher that like caught my eye.
Yeah,
I was like,
but I mean, I'm on record. When I was in high school, I was a fucking virgin. So, my hormones was probably just out of control. Like, I just look at something with a snatch and I'm like, oh.
I mean, I was a virgin in high school too. No one fucking believed me, which was crazy as hell.
Yeah.
But I just.
Which is crazy. Coming out the Lightskin Era and still being a virgin is crazy. Like, the women just throwing it at you.
It was definitely a choice.
I know it was a choice. It had to be. It had to be.
It was definitely a choice. Anyway, it's a Lightskin Era.
Yes. That could be the name of this episode, the Lightskin Era.
Oh, because it's Drake too.
Yeah, the Drake thing, the Lightskin Era.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't really have no more to really add to that topic.
Me neither, man. That's what I really wanted to talk about was that shit. And we can go on and on and on.
Yeah, we'll do what we've been doing, just kind of seeing how it play out, then give our feedback afterwards. Because
maybe get a third party in here to talk about it too. Always get another perspective.
Yeah. Get another woman to speak on it and whatnot. We can go from there. But if you don't have anything else, I don't either. Just want to thank y'all for tuning in as always. And like I always say, like, share, subscribe, and comment. This is Verbal Gunplay. We out.